Owning a gallery in Nigeria is no stroll in the park. When you sustain that vision, then keep it going strong for 40 years, it's enough to roll out the drums and celebrate. On the show today, we salute an institution which has been a big pillar to a lot of artists. A warm welcome to Art House. I'm Melinda Akinlami, and I'll give you all the details in a moment.
I believe that the best learning process of any kind of craft is just to look at the work of others.
It is the first private gallery in Nigeria, which started the art business at a time that many people were still at a crossroad regarding art collection. The client base then were mostly expatriates, and the artists were really struggling to sell their works of art. So they played the role of a big brother, advising them and exhibiting their art. It was a bumpy ride, but 40 years on, the Quintessence Gallery can look back with smiles and look forward with anticipation.
The Quintessence Gallery is no stranger to visitors, but this crowd has come to join in celebrating the achievements of these art institutions. The Chief Executive Officer, Mrs. Aino Oniokpaku, is a Swedish-Nigerian who began this business 40 years ago with her better half.
There's always been an interest for art. Like my husband, he was a painter, among other things, and he did exhibitions, but it's, as I said, it was a small select group, if I say so. Benumbu had his followers. I mean, the big artists, they had their followers. But now it has spread so much more. And I guess it's also thanks to all the new media and also the exposure that people have.
She tells us how the business, which initially was dealing with only imported goods, evolved via a ban by the Nigerian government and a personal loss, which made her think out of the box to pursue her passion.
From the beginning, it started out being the state-of-the-art hi-fi stereo equipment, imported furniture, leather furniture from Switzerland, handbags from Italy, designer chairs from different places. And that was in the beginning when the oil boom started and there were no restrictions. And some years later, there was a ban on importation of luxury items, you would say. And my husband had also died before that time, and I couldn't keep up the state-of-the-art electronics. So it geared towards what I'm more interested in, that is crafts and arts. I'm a trained textile designer artist.
Going down memory lane, a lot has changed. The art consciousness is getting better. The patronage is still a work in progress, but at least there are more galleries now, and even the secondary market has opened up.
The environment has grown faster. Today, we also talk about auctions, the secondary market that has developed only in the last 5-10 years. It is really heartwarming to say that many people now appreciate art. Many people also see art as an investment.
There are many more artists. There are different kinds of art are taking place. If you go, and it's in the consciousness.
All eyes are now on African art as the world has stopped to notice that there are more interesting finds beyond the artifacts from Benin, Ife, or Igboku. The contemporary artist has learnt to up the ante by having collaborations with their foreign counterparts, so their finishing is better, and they have been challenged to use what is around them to produce works of art instead of replicating each other's works. The exposure has helped without compromising originality and identity. Quintessence has been part of that success story.
It's not easy, for instance, to sell in Sweden if you are not a well-known name or with a completely unknown name, which there are unknown names in Sweden, but not in Nigeria. And these are young artists. And it also helps them to be more exposed and find out what is going on outside. Which I think, I mean, before there was the same motive that was repeated over and over and over again among artists. They had, because there was no exposure. We have also had artists coming from Sweden to exhibit here, and some of them have then brought back some artists to go with them, and so we have tried to do exchange.
Many of them have found us quite worthy. Many of us have found out that they are able to reach out to the outside world through us, and that is really encouraging. We've had beautiful testimonies from our artists, and we are quite encouraged to keep what we are doing going on.
Over 100 artists have graced these walls with their art. It's another learning curve for them because they are challenged to put their best foot forward in the build-up to any exhibition. So the curator, Moses Ohiomohai, believes the opportunity to showcase any artist is actually a celebration of the hard work of these very important personalities.
For us, an exhibition is a celebration time, and we see every artist as very important. In fact, even whether you are an emerging artist or you are already an artist of repute, we treat you as someone very important in our gallery, because we know very well that an exhibition is an opportunity to show the world what you are capable of achieving, or what you have achieved and what you are capable of doing.
40 years came with its highs and lows. A major challenge for them was moving from the Falamo shopping complex, which had become a home to Parkview, but they had to adapt to the new environment without losing their clients.
We've come a long way because it hasn't been easy, especially in a very difficult terrain like the country we call Nigeria. We have had difficult times. We have had reasons to even move from where we used to be, where we spent 38 years in, and had to find a new place. But we still thank God, and we know that this has been a glorious moment for us.
It's been very interesting, very interesting, yes, 40 years is a long time, so it has been ups and downs, and but since I like what I'm doing, I have always enjoyed running Quintessence.
Another issue that's uppermost in the heart of this art patron is how to sustain this legacy that has been built.
Next, I will have to try and find somebody who can carry the name on. That is one thing. I cannot continue to run it for another 40 years.
The Quintessence Gallery opened shop in 1975 and has been a voice for the arts.
When we return on Art House, we look at the many works and faces that have graced the gallery. So sit back, relax, but also put your thinking caps on and try to figure out who our artist for this week is.
He worked as a designer in the textile industry in 1935 and later became an illustrator with the CMS bookstore. He attended the Hammersmith School of Art in London in 1945 and later taught at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka from 1962 to 1966.